How is it going, guys? I hope you guys had a nice day yesterday. I did make a little bit of money, but not too much. Of course, there's lots of indecision, but what I managed to do is hedge a little bit. So in case we head further south, I am not going to lose much money. Or since like my main focus is still, or my main um, bias is still long-term bullish. But as I've mentioned before, I think we need a pullback into like at least 3075 level, or perhaps even further. But that's just like what I think for now, like short to medium term. I think today the Fed decision is gonna hopefully be like a catalyst to see a move in either direction. Perhaps like I think the odds are quite high that there's not going to be that the rates are going to stay the same. I think I had that somewhere. Let me bring that up. Here we go. So yeah, the odds are quite high. What is it? 97.8% that we're staying the same. So from that point of view, that's how you can now build your thesis. What am I going to do if they stay the same? They keep them. If what am I going to do if they hike? What am I going to do if they cut them for some reason? So yeah, that's like what you want to think about before you go into the day to day, so you can react once it happens. What I think is a fairly bearish sign, at least for today, is that there must have been some news here around 3 a.m. you guys' time, which I don't remember what that was my time, but it was during the day. So that to me, the way it failed all the way back down, is a clear indication that it might not want to break out just yet. I think that 31, 32.50 level seems to be a fairly interesting level that it likes to tag. And so perhaps we are going to see more of that, or like a breakdown if we fail below this one, and then the 31.27.75 would be the next kind of level, apart from perhaps this 31.29.50. Yeah, that's like just from the market point of view. I think we are, I don't know. I don't want to make any predictions ahead of the FOMC, so we're just going to see what happens. I'm not going to be awake, of course, but I'm positioned. I'm hedged. I'm ready to react tomorrow, or at the close today, to see what I want to put on next. So let's look at the watch list today. Netflix, right at the bottom of this trend, and also at the lower Celt. So what we want to see next is whether it holds or whether this breaks down. If it breaks down, probably like 290, 288 kind of level next target. This was just like the gap down is a downgrade from like this. What's the name of the place? Needham. I don't know. To me, like that's definitely not a tier one institution that downgraded them. So I don't think the impact is going to be too big. But we will see if this fails below this lower Celt. We could perhaps make a play into like the what's that 280 250 level as a next target, but definitely like the 288 is quite a bit of support, so keep that in mind. Next one, MU. I like the way this is consolidating. It's held the middle Celt. So now, depending on FOMC, this might have a nice run once it gets up here and manages to break this trend line and manages to get over 48.70, like break out of this. consolidation. I think this looks quite interesting for more upside. Facebook, I think I am fairly bearish on in the short term. We rejected the upper kilt here. We failed and consolidated under VWAP all day yesterday. So perhaps a move down into the 200 again or 199 is definitely in the cards. Boeing, come on, my internet's still slow at times. Come on, load it. Boeing, it's just for if you guys have the chart of Boeing already up, a fairly bearish view, because it rejected levels, it rejected that lower kilt, it came all the way from above the upper kilt, marched all the way through the channel, and is now back underneath the lower. So 345.50, I would say as a decent support. If that breaks, I would be looking at 340, 339.50 as a target for it could be even a day trade, but definitely a swing over for into the next week might be in the cards for this one. Amazon, looking bearish as well, broke the trend line. Not the cleanest trend line, but I think this might want to retag the lower kilt. So again, everything depends on FOMC today, but let's see, where was this? Let's see if it closed. Yeah, it closed below this most recent low. So that is definitely also a bearish kind of indicator, closed under the trend line. All these things, I think, make this an interesting short play. On the other hand, what you also want to keep in mind, this is not more than a day trade because it's already come off quite a bit, and there is a support level at 1736, 1730 area. So that's what you want to keep in mind as well. Like, it's had a move down. So if this tags the lower kilt, that might, and if you are trading this for a day trade, that might be a good target to take profits from there, because the risk reward for I don't know, a swing is not the best from this point on, I think. Next one, Microsoft, showing a little bit of weakness. Or indecision like everything else. But it tried the upper kilt, it failed. Then now it failed, or had like this indecision yesterday. Sold off into the close a little bit, and is now not doing much in pre-market, a little bit higher. But again, like with everything else, this has had, like this big run. I would probably want to see a retest of the 144 or at least 145 in the medium term before this can move higher. In general, a really nice breakout, as I've mentioned before, but slightly bearish view on this one as well. MDB is in play today. Earnings, this I think lower guidance or something like that, target lowered. Just seems to not be well received, these earnings. So that would be a nice second day play. Say this spikes up into the 131.50 or 134.50, like into that area of the open. I think this might be a to be honest, like on the daily chart, 134 is probably too high. I would want to see no more than a retest of the 132 and then a fail for a bearish second day continuation kind of play. See, if we look at the earnings here, it did like have a bit of follow through on the bad news, but we are now lower. We've broken that trend line, so it's already come off. It's been basically it's up on the year. It's up on the year quite well, quite a bit. So it still has perhaps at least room to retest this 123.60 level, or perhaps it even wants to retest 115. So we will see, but I think this is something that's in play. Has huge volume. much more volume than any previous earnings this year, apart from this big gap up here. So definitely in play, and see if you could get like a second day play out of this. JP Morgan, I'm just pointing this one out as this is the proxy for the whole financial sector in a way, and this has gapped down, closed the gap up, right again, so really strong. But I just want to show how what relative strength looks like in this market, because this one is just unstoppable right now. So watch this 134.50 to what do we have here? 134.77 level for a break higher, and on the other hand, probably watch 133.50 to 133 for a breakdown. Depending on, of course, like financials are very much dependent on the Fed. So yeah, keep that in mind. But this one is very strong, back over the upper Celt. So might be worth a look for a bullish play. Autodesk, I am short this one, and I will be looking to perhaps add a little bit more if this confirms. I think this is way overbought and needs to pull back at least into the 175, which would already be a nice profit, but perhaps we could even pull back into, say, what do we have, like a technical level here, like that 170, 150 area. I think that would be very realistic as well. Next one, Starbucks. We watched that. I think DT, if I remember right, had like a decent trade in this one yesterday. I'm glad, DT. I'm glad you listened to me and took some profits when we were in the 87, in the over 87, because that was the last time it saw these highs and sold off all the way down afterwards. So now this looks quite similar to this candle here. So what I would probably be expecting now from this one is a pullback into 85.20, this kind of area. By then, hopefully the moving averages have caught up, and it can bounce from there, perhaps consolidate a little bit, wait for the market, and then head higher. On the other hand, if the market wants to head back down and retest the breakout level, perhaps this is just going to oscillate here into this 82 to 87 range for a few months, or at least a few weeks. We will see. Next one, Activision. Really nice. I've been long this for a while, and I was contemplating taking profits up in here when on this rejection of the upper Celt, and I got, actually, the only thing is that I forgot because I'm working so damn much at the moment. So now this is over this resistance, and it closed over this resistance. So what we want to see now is a retest at least of like 55.80. I would prefer 55.50 and then a hold, so it can retest the top of this consolidation again. But again, as always, watch for the Fed first. This is a really strong chart, like lots and lots of buying here all day long. It's been bought up, didn't stop once. I mean, apart from the somewhat technical levels like yesterday's high here, or that would be Monday's high, really strong. So might be worth looking at for a like if this pulls back into the upper Celt, might definitely be worth looking at for a long. And lastly, United really beat down, like came off like just how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red days in a row now. And it's tagging that trend line here perfectly. So I think this might be a spot to start getting long. Of course, we are we are under this previous support now. So perhaps as like a level to target if you are not playing the trend line, if you just want to play support resistance, I think 85 might be a target for more short, more bearishness, if there will be more bearishness. And then, of course, maybe it even wants to retest, like the 83. But that we will see. I don't think that's in the cards for this week or next week. But again, like, we will see. That's my list for today, guys. A little bit shorter. I'm trying to keep those videos shorter for you guys, so you're not zoning out at the end of the video. How about? No, I'm not gonna do a demo today. Just to have like a one shorter video for you guys, and maybe tomorrow I'll do another demo. How about you guys comment what you would like to see a demo for, and then I'll prepare something for tomorrow for you guys, to add a little bit more value than just looking at stocks. All right, guys, you guys have a nice trading day. I'll be around for the close most likely. Please like the video. Please comment on the video, as I said. And also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And also, I've read that clicking the notification bell helps, so that you guys get notifications whenever we post a video. We are at the moment posting at least one video daily, and I think the guys are now back to have like regular streams during almost all the market hours with analysis and commentary. So that's going to be great. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys, and you have a nice trading day. Stay safe.